Welcome to another edition of No Veteran Left Behind USA's Warrior Wisdom and Wellness. Now here's your host, Diane Young.
Welcome back to the Warrior Wisdom and Wellness podcast. I'm Diane Young, your host, and I'm really excited to be with Jodi Barnett with the Women Veterans Coordinator and the Office of Public Affairs for the Wisconsin Department of Veteran Affairs. It's been a little while trying to get you in here.
I know. Thanks for having me, Diane.
I'm glad that you could make time. And how about if you just start off by introducing yourself and telling us a little bit about how you got into this position in the first place? What you like about your job?
What do I like about my job? What a great question. Thanks for that. Putting me on the spot. As you said, I am the Women's Veteran Coordinator for the Wisconsin Department of Veteran Affairs. There are over 300,000 veterans here in the state of Wisconsin, and 10% of those are women veterans. I have the honor of being the Women Veteran Coordinator for the department. And basically what that means is I am the bridge between you, myself, between our friend behind the camera there too. Basically, I unite us and build those bridges, and I talk about programming and events throughout the state. I create those programming and events throughout the state, and I kind of bring that unity and sisterhood together, and I do that through programming and events that we're going to talk a little bit more about today. We also put our ears to the ground and listen to how can we as a department help women veterans within the state through legislation, through needs, through big pictures as well. I just came back from some time in DC. Each state has a women veteran coordinator or commissioner, etc. And I just spent about 10 days with my sisters throughout the country talking about what we can do as women veteran coordinators, what we see, what we hear, what we know we need to be doing better, and making those changes.
So, what kind of changes are on the horizon? Anything you can share?
So we just talked about this as we were kind of leading into this interview. You talked how great it was to feel about getting your Marine Corps license plate today, right?
Yeah,
and how
nice.
Someone asked you like, "Oh, who's the veteran? Who's the veteran?" They looked around and it was just you in the car today, right? And they were like, you were like, "Well, I am." And he was kind of stunned, like, you don't see too many women Marines, right?
Yep.
That's the change we really want to take away, is that stigma of like, oh, wow, I forget that there's women Marines, right? Why? Why is that stigma still out there? It's 2023. Why does that stigma still exist?
Because we're only 10%.
I know. So really what we're trying to do is, I'm a perfect example of that. I'm loud and proud as a veteran, but I am not the veteran who served overseas in combat. That doesn't mean I am not a veteran. And so often what we find as women veterans, we find that if we've been told that we're not a veteran if we didn't serve overseas, or we get out of the military, we become somebody's wife, somebody's mother, somebody's sister, somebody's student, somebody's employer, somebody's employee, and it just becomes kind of secondary. We don't think that we deserve that. We don't think we deserve that title, or maybe we just don't feel like we deserve it ourselves. Right? We've been told, or we just don't think that we're eligible for those benefits as a veteran. So let's take away that stigma. Let's reconnect with who we are, and let's reconnect. We sign those dotted lines. Let's earn that. Let's become veterans. Let's sing it loud and proud. Let's connect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really didn't talk about my service much before I went through Healing Warrior Hearts, because I wasn't exactly proud of it as far as some of the things that had happened.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that I was able to find my joy in being a veteran after going through that program, because I spent 10 years after retiring not talking about being a veteran.
Yeah, I talked about a little bit about this morning with a group of women veterans. It's here it is, September in 2023, and it's the 100th anniversary of VA healthcare for women, and so many of us don't seek VA healthcare, and so many of us don't seek veteran benefits, and it's because we don't really want to talk about it. And I'm not asking anybody to talk about things that we're not comfortable talking about.
Right.
We're not asking to, put trauma out there or talk about our tragedies, but if you are like me, when you disconnected from the military, one of the hardest things that we do is finding that sense of community, right? When we transfer from one mission to another, one base to another, one squadron to another. I was in Airedale, so my apologies, right? We're taught community, and we're connected with those communities, and our families learn how to connect with those communities. It's just who we are. When we transition out of the military, we don't really know how to find our community. So often when we meet other family members right? Are you laughing at me?
I'm laughing with you.
Yeah. So often when we meet other women out in the civilian world,
Right.
they don't understand what we go through.
No.
Whether it's the boot camp, AITs, whatever, we just are a little different than they are. And this is why it's so important and why I love what I do. Back to your original question, why I love what I do. Whether it is through our Milwaukee County veteran meet and greets that happen over at Milwaukee Urban Stables the second Tuesday of every month, as you'll see in our flyer here. Our next one is October 10th. Come join us. Just a light meet and greet, no obligations. We're not trying to sell you anything. It's just a place for us to get together for brotherhood and sisterhood and just kind of connect with each other. Or whether it's our annual Women Veteran Retreat next year, June 7th and 8th up in Eau Claire with our amazing partners at Trinity Equestrian Center.
Nice.
Yeah, things like that. Just that connection, that sisterhood, that somebody knows who I am, somebody that knows who I am and understands what I went through. Wisconsin Department of Veteran Affairs is getting ready to launch. Hopefully at the end of the month, I'll be able to share some better details with this. As she's a veteran outreach campaign, we're going to open up some applications for that. And that she is a veteran campaign, will actually be able to apply for that. And we're going to have individual female veterans across the state. They will be able to connect with other female veterans. You'll be our connection to the department, the Wisconsin Department of Veteran Affairs. You'll receive information from us and spread that throughout your communities. And you'll actually be an eyes and ears for us and bring information to me and a few other women, like our tribal liaison, Melissa Dowd, as well as Secretary Bond too, and kind of share that information like, hey, here's what I'm hearing kind of up in the northern and rural areas, right? Because what we're sitting here in the Milwaukee area is going to be a little different than what we're hearing up in the north area of what needs women veteran have. So kind of keep an ear and eyes out for that on our website. I'm super excited and super proud of that initiative and can't wait to be able to share more about that campaign as well.
Very nice.
Yeah.
While you're taking a breath here, I want to share that this was really an excellent time, that you did a great job, and
Thanks.
so did the partners there at the Milwaukee Urban Stables. I got to go the other day, and it was very low-key. It was very nice.
Yeah.
Relaxed. Just come and hang out and meet other veterans.
Yeah.
And they always have snacks that lures us in sometimes. And we got to go around and see some of the horses and stuff, so that was really nice.
Yeah, Mary
Worth the
McIntosh
drive.
is the CEO over there, and she does an amazing job with the Milwaukee Urban Stables. Prissy and PJ are the donkeys over there, and they're fabulous. If you've never had a chance to go over there, they're actually always looking for volunteers, and they do some amazing things with some equestrian therapy over there as well, and they have a great relationship with VA. So if you're interested, please come see us, and that information you can find on our social media pages, or you can find on our WisconsinWomenVeterans.com too.
Very nice. You're reading my mind. That's exactly what I wanted to share about them, is that they are working with the VA so that that is covered and veterans can participate. I really liked that.
Yeah.
What I like also about your Women Veterans Retreat is that you've looked at the schedule to make sure that there's not other big events going on so that we can all participate. I like that. I'd also like to give a plug for the VA, because I get my care from the VA, and it's usually been an awesome experience. The one time it wasn't, I gave them feedback, and that got fixed like that. And that's Madison. I have worked with Milwaukee too. That was good. And I got treated today to some physical therapy that actually, wow, really turned me around.
Nice.
So yeah, and I've had that before, and it didn't have that impact on me.
Yeah.
So today I got exactly what I needed. So I say that to encourage people to get out there and deal with the VA and get the care that you really need. And if something doesn't go quite right, let them know, because they really care and want to improve so that all veterans will come back. So I want to throw that pitch out there and thank the VA. I encourage people to go.
Yeah, and
All right, what else we got going
I think
on?
it's important too, while we're talking about the VA, another program that a lot of women veterans may not know about is the Center for Women Veterans. It is a VA, a Veterans Affairs program, but Google Center for Women Veterans. It is an amazing and informational website. They're at the forefront of many, many things. So if you have any questions about healthcare, they have an online handbook about transitioning service members and healthcare. They actually do a lot of surveys in what women veterans need. That's kind of how the VA gets their information and making those determinations about what women veterans need. They actually do a book corner for women veterans who write books. There's monthly book corners and kind of business information out there. It's just an amazing informational website.
Which website is that again?
It's Center for Women Veterans.
All right.
And they have a great
check that
Facebook
out.
page too. So I try to share a lot of information on that on the Wisconsin Women Veterans Facebook page and Instagram page too.
Thank you for doing that.
Yeah, I try to keep us informed, right?
Yeah.
Speaking of Wisconsin Women Veterans, make sure that you get signed up for our newly formed Wisconsin Women Veteran Registry. And you can find out more about that on wisconsinwomenveterans.com. Basically, any information that comes out from the state or at the federal level will come out that way. And it's pretty simple. We just have some basic information about your time in service, and we just want to make sure that you're getting the information. More often than not, we hear women veterans say, I didn't know.
Yep.
No one told me.
Yep.
No one told me. So this is a great place for you to be able to get that information. Our newest newsletter will go out at the end of this month, and that is a great place for you to be able to get that information in that newsletter.
Very nice. They can probably sign up for that online too,
They
right?
can, yeah.
Facebook page, website.
Yep, WisVetsWomen.com.
Get the news.
Yep. Every year, the Wisconsin Department of Veteran Affairs has nominations for the Wisconsin Woman Veteran of the Year. That nomination opens up tomorrow and will stay open through October 13th at midnight. So please, if you know of a Wisconsin woman veteran deserving, I'm looking at two myself. I cannot be nominated, but I am looking at two myself. Please get those nominations in. Again, that's something that you're going to find out more about on our WisVetsWomen.com website, and again on our newsletter. So please find out more. Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Thanks. Have you covered everything
I think
yet?
I've covered everything. I want to make sure that I give a shout out to our friends at the Veteran Outreach Recovery Program. It's also an amazing part of our homeless and recovery program within the Wisconsin Department of Veteran Affairs. It's something that we're very, very proud of, and we're happy to say that we now cover 16 regions and 72 counties, and that is something that you can find out more about at our WisVets.com programming too.
Nice.
Yeah.
You know, the moral of the story is that there are services out here for people, and they just need to know about those. So I appreciate you taking the time to come out and
sharing is caring. I am all about sharing is caring, and my social media, the Department of Wisconsin social media pages, I am all about sharing federal, local communities. Manitowoc Veterans has an amazing community page, and I am all about sharing. So if you have something that you feel is sharing worthy that to get the veteran community involved, please send it to me via messenger, and I will be sure to get that shared out there to the community. Again, sharing is caring.
I appreciate that about you.
Thanks, Diane.
really
I
do.
appreciate that about you too.
Thank you.
Thanks.
I want to share also that the best way to get information is to show up for the different veteran resource fairs that are out there.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many times that I've had the privilege of hanging out with Jodi at the different veteran resource fairs. And they're actually for you, the veteran, not just for us,
Yep.
you know, having a table out there. So we really hope that we'll see more of you out there at the different resource fairs that are available. So
Yeah, Wisconsin Department of Veteran Affairs will be here October 10th at MKE Urban Stables, and we'll be sharing all that information with you on the website and at the end of this video.
nice.
Nice.
Is there anything I didn't ask you yet that you'd like to share about?
No, and I'm sure I talked super fast, so again, stay tuned and go to our website, wisvets.com.
Very good, thank you.
Thanks
Thanks for being here, Jodi, and thank you all for listening. Again, this is Diane Young with the Warrior Wisdom and Wellness, reminding you to take good care of yourself and share this information. Thank you.
Thank you.
Save the dates, June 7th and 8th, 2024. for the Women Veterans Retreat to be held at the Trinity Equestrian Center in Eau Claire, Wisconsin. The retreat is put on by the Wisconsin Department of Veterans Affairs, and if you would like more information on this and other programs for women veterans, go to wisvetswomen.com. That's wisvetswomen.com.